Welcome to the Financial Power Play, the podcast where hockey meets real life money talk. I'm Brett from Uptown Wealth Management, here to help hockey families and professionals create a financial game plan that works on and off the ice. From the rink to retirement, this is your go-to for real stories, smart strategies, and trusted advice. Let's drop the puck and dive in. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Financial Power Play with Brett Cranson. I'm your host, and I'm here with a special guest today, Ryan Henn. Ryan played professional hockey, and as well, he runs the Handmade Hockey League and the Handmade Skills Development Program, as well as the assistant coach for the GGs. He's also a hockey dad. Hey, Ryan, how's it going today?
Great, thanks. How you doing?
I'm good. So let's start. The way we sort of start this, let's start with the first period. Let's talk about your backstory. So how did you get into the hockey world?
The hockey world is something I've lived in my whole life. Started playing at a young age here in Canada. Started at the age of 7. Just progressively played all the way through. Played major junior, played 11 years pro, and then got into coaching. So I've been fortunate enough. 6 years behind the bench, and now I'm a dad, hockey coach. Still lace them up and play myself, so checking all the boxes.
So that's good. So what's your earliest memory of hockey, and when did you know there's something more to the game that you wanted to accomplish?
I mean, I think one of the first memories I have is just going away on tournaments, tournaments with the team, staying in the hotel, playing mini sticks, going out to dinner, messing with everybody's drinks, all those fun things you do as a kid. And I think at that point, I knew that I love the game and I wanted to be in it as long as I can, and I've stuck with it.
It's great. So you had a long pro career. So what part of the journey taught you the most, either on or off the ice?
I think really when I moved away, played hockey in the States, packed up my stuff, moved to a place I'd never been before. I think that really taught me a lot just about being independent. I don't have all my friends and family there to take care of me all the time. So it was me every day, after practice, taking care of myself, making all my meals, taking care of myself, all that good stuff.
That's great. So now you're a hockey coach, business owner, and a hockey dad. So how has the relationship with the game changed since you were playing?
I mean, I think it's taken a different angle because now as a coach, I watch the game, I look at the game a lot differently from a development side, from a tactical side. And as a parent, I'm helping my kid, helping his team, helping all his buddies. It's fun. I love to get back to the game, and it's really taught me a lot. So I really love that part.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, so let's get into the second period, which we're going to talk more about financial and some business challenges you had with your starting your own business and coaching and running your kids hockey, I guess, taking your kids to hockey and that kind of stuff. So looking back as a player, now as a parent, how did you and your family navigate the costs of playing hockey?
Well, it's definitely, the cost has gone up a lot since when I played. I mean, back in the day, you could get a cheap stick. I could get used skates. I wasn't getting the highest end gear, that's for sure. But, even with my kid, I try to tell him the importance of, you don't need a $200 stick if you're 8 years old. When you get later on in your life, later on in your career, when you need those things, when it really makes a difference. But for me, navigating through that, it was challenging because I would have wanted the same skates and shiny sticks as everybody else, but I still made do and, did the best I could with it.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I know a lot of kids, they want the top of the line sticks, same as their NHL hockey players and their the people they look up to. And sometimes you don't need that. You can just get a normal stick. And
kids can't even flex a stick and they want a $400 twig.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So how's running development hockey business? It's not cheap and easy to get started. So how did you get started in it, and what kind of challenge did you have starting your business?
I mean, I think, with me, I've been doing this for over 20 years, working with development, working camps, helping kids get better, helping all players get better. So for me, I think it's just the challenges that I had was just starting, getting the credibility. Everybody's a skills coach these days, right? So for me, coming in as a former player, I was a tough guy. So having that, that stereotype of, why he's a tough guy teaching skills, but, I'm very dialed and very detailed with everything I do. And it really shows off with, just the attention to detail with every drill and every kid development. Everybody develops differently, and being able to help them get better. And I think that was the biggest struggle for me, was just getting the credibility. And once you start working with better players and players talk and parents talk, and then you get your reputation up there. So that was challenging for me to start.
Yeah. So now you've got your business.
Now I'm in my 8th year now, so it's been going good. I work with players of all ages, boys, girls, from U9 all the way up to the pro guys. So
Yeah.
it's everybody in between.
So did you have any financial challenges starting the business, or?
For me, it was more just getting started, getting the startup stuff, the tracksuits and all that type of stuff, just to look the part. You got to look professional, and when you're on the ice, you can't just be wheeling around with, no name hoodie, and you got to have the brand, right? So having the brand, being able to start up like that, getting the funds to get it going, that was super important.
Yeah. That's good. And what's something about the business that hockey parents should know about and that kind of stuff?
Well, it's everybody's different, and especially with, like I said, everybody's a skills coach now. So you get the attention to detail, and there's a lot of people out there that just go out there and they're going to blow their whistle. They think they can go on YouTube or Instagram and find a couple drills and be able to teach it. They just because you can show them, okay, go around the cone, turn left, go shoot. Like, you want to be able to get your money's worth. And as a parent myself, like, if I'm going to put my kid into something, I want to see something. I want to see him get better. I want to see him develop and improve. And I think a lot of parents just go for, okay, this kid, okay, this guy, he's got this many players on the ice. Like, they're not learning anything. They're not getting any better. They're just going through the motions. And you got to be aware of that.
Right. So what kind of things should parents be looking for? Like, I know there's lots of skill sessions out there. I know when my kid was young, we were bouncing around to one different session, trying to find the best one for my kid. Wasn't sure, how to find the best coach, that kind of stuff. What kind of things do you would recommend to a parent to sort of figure out which is the best hockey school for them to go to?
Well, I think it's really important to just base it off what your kid likes. Like, if your kid doesn't like going to the rink, doesn't like going to the rink with this coach or that coach, or if they do really like it, and if you do see the improvement, I think pairing those two, like, you have to be able to have a kid that wants to get better and wants to learn. And if he's not willing to listen to you, then it's pointless. So being able to get a kid to connect with and have, the parents see the improvements, see the development, that's what you want as a parent. You don't just want to be putting your kid on the ice, paying money for a session, and then you leave and you don't even see your kid get any better. You want to be able to see. So I think it's important to be able to see it, and you can see if your kid's getting better, if he's getting corrected. A lot of people don't correct. I'm big on correction. So if your kid's getting the correction and the proper coaching out there, they're going to improve.
So I see a lot of parents like taking their kids to all different kinds of skill session. Everything that comes up, they get emails. They take them to the skill session. They're traveling to far away from home to go to a skill session for a weekend. What kind of, that's a lot of money for a parent to put into their kid. What kind of do you recommend for like a kid, so the parents don't spend so much money? Like, how many times should they be going to skill sessions? How many skill sessions should they be going to?
I mean, especially with, all the different development around here. Like, you have showcase tournaments, and, like they say, any ice is good ice, but you don't want to burn your kid out. You don't want to take away that love and the drive and the passion from them. So they're on the ice every day, and you're dropping them off. You got to pull them out of the car, and that's going to be too much. You don't want to burn out your kid, but at the same time, you got to keep up with everybody else. So it's tough to find that balance. What works for you, what works best for your family, your kid, and everybody. So finding the balance between, skating 4 or 5 times a week and rest. Like, the kid has to rest. He has to rest to improve. And if he's just bagged the whole time, you won't see the benefits as you would.
Right. All right. So let's move into the third period now, planning for the future. What's your long-term goal, maybe with your business, with coaching, and that kind of stuff, and how are you planning for it?
My long-term goal, I just really want to help and be able to keep growing my brand, keep growing my business. And, started off just doing skill sessions. Now I run, weekly skill sessions. I work with multiple teams, associations, run multiple leagues, camps, tournaments, you name it, I do it all. So being able to, just grow like that for my personal side, coaching with the University of Ottawa has given me, it's been an amazing experience so far the last 2 years, being able to learn with them. So, just my growth, my development as a coach, I'd like to keep moving up the ranks. We'll see what that is. It's a little early now, but I'd like to keep going and keep grinding and keep getting better every day.
Right. And as a hockey dad, what do you try and teach your boys, and where do you see them going with hockey, and how's it going to cost the wise also with them playing?
Yeah, like my oldest is 8 years old. He just plays house league. I'm not in any rush for him to play competitive. Like, I push him. I want him to work hard. That's my biggest thing as a dad. I don't care if he's out there scoring 10 goals a game. I just want him to work hard, because he works hard. He has fun. He helps his team. Then he learns all those important lessons, teamwork, core values, all those important core values that you can't get outside the rink. You got to be able to listen. You got to be able to be a leader. You got to be able to do all these things that I want my kids to learn. So for him, I think it's important for him just to have fun and keep working hard, and the results will follow.
Right. And how are you managing the costs of the hockey thing? There's only one boy playing right now, right?
Yeah, I'm just signed up my other one too, so he's going into his first year, U7. So it's not too much. Like I said, they don't play competitive, so it's not like I'm breaking the bank on their hockey yet. But I know the day will come that I'm going to have to budget better for two boys in hockey.
Yeah, it's important, like the budget, especially for hockey, because it's being so expensive.
Exactly. You got to be able to pay for tournaments, and kid needs a new stick, like we talked about, that $200 twig. Scoring some goals, you might want a nice stick. So
yeah. So do you see yourself staying in the hockey world forever, or do you have some other aspirations after hockey?
The hockey world, for me, that's it. I've lived in the hockey world my whole life. I don't see myself changing or doing anything different.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then how do you manage your time? I know your wife works shift work and that kind of stuff. So is it hard managing your time with all your different hats that you wear, and then also with your boys playing hockey?
It's definitely challenging, but the support system we have at home, my mom's outstanding. She's always there. I call her, I need your help today. She'll be there as long as it takes her to drive to my house. So the time management is tough. Obviously I'm at the rink every night, all day. So it's just finding the balance between, that home life, being able to spend a couple minutes with the boys and, throw a ball or, play some road hockey or whatever it is, just laugh and have fun with the boys just while I'm there, while I can, for sure.
Right. Yeah. I know it's a lot of juggling when you have different sports, and also with your kids playing, it's hard, with me as well. I have my two boys playing, and it's hard to juggle them, figuring out who's going where, what time, and then
all over the city,
and then paying for gas and all the travel too. So it's hard. All right. So let's finish this off with some, going to overtime. I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions just to wrap things up. So what's your best money tip you've ever gotten for, let's say, hockey on or off the ice?
Know your worth, especially in this business. Like, people charge different amounts. Like, you have to know what you're worth. And if people are willing to pay that, they should be willing to pay that. If you're reasonable, you're respectful, and you're not trying to gouge everybody for all their money.
Right. What was your biggest financial mistake or regret that you did during your playing days?
I think just not saving enough during the season. Like, you get money every week. Everything was covered. My house, my car, everything was paid for. So being able to actually bank money, not that I was making a ton, but being able to bank more money to come home with, so I didn't have to work right away. I like to get home and relax a bit after the season's over, and being able to bank more money could have allowed me to take it easier for a lot of time.
Yeah, that's good. I find a lot of players are like that too. They don't realize that they need to put money away while they're playing, and they end up spending all the money all the time, and then when they're done playing, they have nothing left.
Exactly.
So that's a good some advice. So lastly, let's end off with what's one piece of advice you give a young coach, player, or parent trying to make it in the hockey world?
Focus on your kid, focus on your player, focus on yourself. Don't worry about anybody else. Skill sessions, you might have your kid's a AAA kid, there might be a AA kid or a single A kid, whatever it is. You can't be looking at everybody else. Focus on your kid, put in the work, and it'll pay off.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks for your time, Ryan.
Of course, thank you.
That's perfect. That was lots of fun. Thanks for tuning in to the Financial Power Play. If this episode sparked something for you, be sure to subscribe, share it with your hockey crew, and leave a review. Want to talk about building your own financial playbook? Visit uptownwealthmanagement.com to book a free consultation. Until next time, stay focused, stay flexible, and keep playing your game.